In so many ways, this is the most important story in the country right now. Republicans are trying to essentially steal enough congressional seats to keep their majority in Congress after next year's midterm elections. And Democrats are desperately trying to keep pace and fight back. Today, Republicans in North Carolina voted to gerrymander their state's congressional map to give Republicans yet another House seat. And don't just take my word for it. That was the explicit intention of this new map. Here was the North Carolina state senator who prepared the map earlier this week.
The motivation behind this redraw is simple and singular. Draw a new map that will bring an additional Republican seat to the North Carolina congressional delegation.
I guess thanks for not hiding the ball on that one there, Mr. State Senator. I mean, this new seat from North Carolina means that nationally, Republicans have now gerrymandered their way into 7 more House seats, 5 from Texas, 1 from Missouri, and now this 7th new seat in North Carolina. And again, the motivation for gerrymandering all of those seats has been incredibly transparent.
Republicans hold a razor-thin margin in the United States House of Representatives. And if Democrats flip 4 seats in the upcoming midterm elections, they will take control of the House and torpedo President Trump's agenda.
Again, I guess thanks for saying the quiet part out loud so we all know. I mean, with those 7 seats already gerrymandered and Trump pushing Republicans to gerrymander more maps in states like Florida, Indiana, Kansas, and Nebraska, Democrats are kind of getting creative and really starting to get some fire behind them. They're filing a huge number of lawsuits to try to invalidate these maps state by state, and they are starting to call the big guns in to fight back, which is good. This is the latest Yes on Prop 50 ad, featuring former President Barack Obama endorsing Gavin Newsom's Prop 50 ballot initiative, known as the Election Rigging Response Act. And the word response is pretty key there. The act is a direct response to Texas's gerrymandered map, which again netted Republicans 5 more House seats. Prop 50 lets the voters of California decide whether or not they want to temporarily redistrict California in a way that would net Democrats 5 more House seats, counteracting Texas. President Obama has been notoriously picky with which political fights he has chosen to get involved with since he left office. So it kind of shows us how important this issue is, that he is all in pretty much on this fight. And my bet is a big part of the reason is that the fight is not just about California. Here's what he said today on a call with volunteers.
So part of what you're doing right now is not just helping to get Prop 50 passed. You're also helping to embolden and encourage people across the country who maybe have been a little discouraged, but know that democracy is worth fighting for.
That wasn't just Obama waxing poetic about the importance of fighting, which he, of course, believes. I mean, news that shows that all across the country there are still fights to be had kind of supports what he had to say there. For months now, Trump and his allies have been putting a ton of pressure on Republican state lawmakers in the state of Indiana, trying to pressure them into gerrymandering the state's maps. Back in August, Shady Vance even flew to Indiana to pressure lawmakers in person. And just last week, Trump called Indiana Republicans himself. A state senator on that call told the New York Times that while Trump did not make any threats against legislators who opposed his plan, he did offer to endorse any state senator who got behind it. The call ended by asking state senators to press 1 if they supported Trump's plan or 2 if they opposed it. So Trump could keep track, of course, of exactly who was opposing him. That's a ton of pressure. But check this out. Today, the spokesperson for Indiana's Republican state Senate leader says Trump still doesn't have the votes. That's interesting, good news. We also got big redistricting news out of Missouri this week. Again, last month, Republicans in Missouri gerrymandered the state's map to give Republicans another seat. But almost immediately, Democrats in the state started fighting back in a really creative way. Activists started gathering signatures for a ballot measure that would put Republicans' new map to a statewide vote. And pivotally, the new map wouldn't be able to go into effect until after that vote took place. Meaning, basically, that if activists can gather enough signatures, which is about 110,000 signatures by December 11th to be exact, that would effectively veto the impact of this map on the 2026 midterms and let the people of Missouri decide for themselves whether to accept the Republican map after that. And it turns out, which is a cool story, that the No Kings protests this weekend were a great opportunity to move that project forward. Organizers say they gathered tons of signatures all across the state. That's pretty cool. So to zoom back out, if California passes Prop 50, that would cancel out the 5 congressional seats Republicans took for themselves in Texas. If activists in Missouri can get enough signatures on their ballot measure, they can take back the congressional seat Republicans took from them there. So the only new gerrymandered seats that Democrats don't actively have a plan to cancel out as of this moment, which is key, is the one new seat Republicans made today in North Carolina. But the fight is far from over. Republicans are not giving up in Indiana or Missouri or any other state where they can jam through new maps to help Trump. And that's why it is so important to hear people like Democratic Maryland Governor Wes Moore say this yesterday.
If Donald Trump is calling individual states and individual Republican states and saying, I need you to find me a congressperson here. I need you to do this. I need you to find me a fair map. Then my point is this. If all these states are going to have conversations about do they have a fair map, so will Maryland.
I know it's easy to feel despair these days. To many Republicans, many Republicans are playing by a different set of MAGA-driven, insanity-inducing rules. But the fight is still ongoing. And this fight over redistricting may just be the most important fight ahead.